It's Monday night, and you know what that means. Downstairs Entertainment, in association with DaveyBoy Productions, presents Rex Rivetter, Private Eye. This season builds on the characters and plot lines from previous episodes, so if you haven't caught up, we recommend you go back and listen to the episodes that you missed. We'll be here when you get back. Welcome back. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the exciting conclusion of Rex Rivetter, Private Eye in The Case of Pete and Repeat.
Yep, that should do it. Boss doesn't want you shot, so don't shoot you. But this is even better. You get to suffer.
Voices and sounds float around my head for a few minutes before I even try to open my eyes. And when I do, I'm not sure I've accomplished anything. It's dark as night. The copper taste of blood fills my mouth. I reach up to feel the throb at the back of my skull, but my elbow bumps into a wall, restricting my mobility. I'm confined in some kind of box, a wooden structure from the splinters I get as I dig at the top, not 6 inches from my face. I can hear and feel the vibrations of something hitting the roof of my makeshift coffin. Dirt. Whoever slugged me fitted me for a pine diving suit and is now trying to bury me. My day just keeps getting better and better.
No way you're getting out of there. And even if you could, you're miles from civilization. Ha! See you never, Rex Rivetter. Whistle while you rock.
The sounds stop, and I can hear my captor drive away, leaving me alone in the dark, in more ways than one. There's a lighter in the pocket of my trousers, but I'm not sure I can get to it. And even if I could, I'm encased in wood. There's a better chance of me lighting myself on fire than getting free before I suffocate. This thought leads me to the realization that I may run out of air before I formulate a real plan. I have no idea where I am or what I'm buried under. If I had been thinking clearly, I could have timed the sound of the dirt falling onto the box. And that might have given me an idea as to how deep I was buried, but like counting for lightning. Unfortunately, I'm not that smart. My head is still throbbing from the first hit I took yesterday. When was that? And the second hit is just compounding the problem. I can't tell if I'm able to focus my vision or not because of the darkness. Add to that the rising temperature in the wooden casket and the fact that each breath I take uses up more oxygen. And then there's the pain shooting through my head. That's when I hear the sound of earth seeping through the cracks in my box. So, maybe I won't exactly suffocate. Maybe I'll just be crushed by a ton of dirt. Some of it lands on my face, falls into my mouth. Not dirt. Sand. I'm in an hourglass, with the grain slowly passing from the bulb above to the one below, with me as the narrow neck, which everything must pass through. Each granule taking away the seconds remaining in my life. I've never been in a more desperate situation.
You're stuck, buddy. No way out of this one.
What?
You're stuck, Rexy. There's no way out.
Who?
Remember that time in that camp?
The camp?
That was a cakewalk in comparison.
Who is that?
Aw, come on, old buddy. Don't tell me you forgot me already. I haven't been gone that long.
Abe?
Got it on the first try. Nice job.
But you're dead.
What's your point?
Where are you?
Where am I? I'm right here.
In here? With me?
Well, something like that.
So, am I...
You're getting closer.
What do you want?
I'm just here to escort you to the other side.
You mean... So, this is how it ends?
Hey, everybody goes, right? Doyle, me, your girl, you.
I just figured I'd...
What? You thought you'd go down swinging? That's what we all think. But with most people, it's something stupid. Pneumonia, slip and fall, a car accident. It's the great equalizer, Rex. Everybody goes. Kings, knights, and pawns. Everybody leaves the board. Eventually.
Sure, but... I've still got some things.
It calls on all of us, Rex. Death. And when it calls, you answer.
Don't listen to him, Rex.
What?
Don't listen to him. Listen to me.
Jenny?
Who else? Look, Rex, you're right. You got things to do.
Jenny. I'm sorry, Angel.
Forget it, boss.
I'm really sorry.
There was nothing you could do. Not for me. But there is something you can do for that girl.
I should have been there.
Forget about it. It's the past, but you're not done yet. There's still work to be done.
Rex, listen. You've done all you could. Leave it for somebody else. It's not your mess. For once in your life, let it go. A few more deep breaths and...
Quiet, Breslow.
You've got to move, Rex. The longer you lay there, the more he wins. Don't you get it? If you don't do anything, he wins. You can't let that happen, Rex. I know you.
A few more breaths, Rex, and then you don't have any more worries. It's peaceful, Rex. And if anybody deserves a rest, buddy, it's you.
Quiet. Both of you. Leave me in peace.
That's what I'm telling you. Rest. Be at peace.
Come on, Rex. You can do this. You can save the girl.
I can't. I couldn't save you.
Or Marilyn, or Carmen, or the girl from the university. What was her name?
Lawrence. Evelyn Lawrence.
Right. You didn't save her either. Have you ever saved anyone? France? You remember that?
Shut up.
Have you ever done anything?
Don't listen to him, boss.
Shut up.
One thing. Name one thing you've done that has made a difference. One thing.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up!
Oh, Rex. Now you've done it.
What's he done?
You made a hole in the roof. The sand is coming in.
What have I done?
You made a hole, Rex.
You made a hole. The sand is coming in, Rex. You're going to suffocate.
No.
You made a hole, Rex.
Can you feel it? It's getting heavier, pal. It's going to be too much. You've sealed your fate, Rex. It's time to accept it.
No. No. No, 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 no. No! The earth erupts like a volcano. From deep within emerges a monster. A monster formed from anger and pain, with shoes and pockets filled with sand. I drag myself from rotted wood and a grave dug too shallow. The afternoon sun beats down on me, and the sweat on my brow and back dry into a sticky, grimy undercoat. As I lay there, face down in the desert, head throbbing from lumps received and exertion, I hear her voice.
Save the girl, Rex.
She's dead, Jenny. They're all dead.
Not all of them, Rex. There's still one left.
A picture of a girl forms behind my closed eyes, standing outside the offices of Sullivan Construction. She seems to transform. She straightens her shoulders, and her hair frames eyes too old for her face.
What will you do now, Mr. Riveter?
Sheila. The girl from Gerard Sullivan's office looks back at me with pleading eyes.
I believe in you, Rex. I always have.
I gather the strength to stand and look at my surroundings. Sand and low scrub for as far as the eye can see. I'm done. They took everything I had to get out of the ground. I'll never find my way back to civilization.
You can do it, Rex. You have to. You've got work to do.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, Angel. I think you overestimate my...
Who are you talking to, mister?
I swing around, trying not to collapse from exhaustion, to see a teenager in a cowboy hat and boots, holding the reins of a donkey.
Who are you talking to?
He can't be more than 14 years old. He could have been a schoolmate of the boys outside of May's Market. Who are you? What are you doing here? Who are you?
You asked that twice.
Well?
You couldn't pronounce my name. What are you doing here?
I'm a prairie dog, just coming up looking for predators. Seen any?
Well, there was a man in a car. Does he count?
Definitely.
Why was he out here? And why did he bury you?
Where are we? The boy looks around and then gives the obvious answer.
Nowhere.
Which way did he go? The guy with the car.
Towards the interstate, I guess?
Which direction?
Never make it on your own.
Can you lead me?
Lead?
Yes. I can't pay you. I don't have any money. Sorry. He gives me a disapproving look before answering.
What do I need money for?
My head throbs as I shuffle through sand, making trenches with my feet. Dirt and dust flow off me like a cape in one of those vampire flicks. The wind is scarce, but when it does breeze by, all the sand in the desert seems to find my eyes. I look at my guide, but it doesn't seem to bother him. Eventually, the silence becomes palpable. You're not much for conversation, are you? Nothing. He just turns that disapproving gaze on me again. Know any good jokes? Silence. Alright, I've got one for you. These two crows are sitting on a fence. Pete and Repeat. Pete falls off. Who's left?
Repeat?
Alright, these two crows are sitting on a fence. Pete and Repeat. Pete falls off. Who's left? Go on.
Repeat.
Alright, these two crows are sitting on a fence. Pete and Repeat. Pete falls off. Who's left?
Funny.
Nope. Funny couldn't make it. Who's left?
Not funny.
Nope, not funny. Had a previous engagement. Who's left?
Repeat.
This goes on for another few months as we trudge our way through the grainy wasteland. I'm sure I have enough sand in my shoes to build the Taj Mahal. But the boy and his donkey just keep walking. So I do too. If I'm being completely honest, without their company, I might just decide to stop and make my final laydown. As the sun begins to touch the mountains on my right, I can spot some twinkling on the horizon in front of me. We get closer and I realize those twinkles are the sun reflecting off of windshields. Cars traveling back and forth on a 2-lane road. In time, we make it to that road. my guide, his burro, and me. I stick my thumb out, and before too long, some farmer in a pickup decides to take some pity on me.
I have one.
What?
I have one. Joke?
You? All right. Let's hear it.
What do you call 2 crows sitting in a tree?
Hey, you need a ride, mister?
Okay, I'll bite. What do you call 2 crows sitting in a tree?
Attempted murder!
Hey, mister.
Yeah. Hey, kid. Thanks for keeping me company. You need a lift somewhere? Maybe we can get this guy to drop you off. Hey, you can tell him your joke.
Mister, you, getting in?
Yeah, hold on a minute, old-timer.
Old-timer? For your information, I'm not a day older than 66. Oh, maybe 67.
Sorry, no offense intended.
None taken, I suppose. Fella finds himself all alone out in the desert like that, especially dressed as you are. I should expect some peculiarities.
Do you think I could impose upon you to drop my friend here off somewhere?
Your friend?
I'm not sure what we can do about his, mule?
You all right, mister?
The boy is gone, and so is his animal. He couldn't have just disappeared. I looked down in the sand from the direction we came. It's getting dark, so the tracks are hard to make out. I see mine, but nothing from the kid or his pet.
Mister, you don't look too good. You need a doctor?
I'm fine. Just a little, must be the desert.
Well, it's no wonder. It's hot out here.
No kidding. Next thing you'll be telling me is water is wet.
Mister, you got a funny way of being gracious.
Sorry. Today has been long. Thanks for the ride.
You're quite welcome. Where you headed?
Where are you headed?
Oh, I'm going all the way to Los Angeles. But I can drop you somewheres along the way if you need. I don't mind the company, I'll tell you. It gets kind of lonely driving by yourself.
Los Angeles. I know I should be surprised. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Are you real?
That's a pretty odd question.
Well, it's been a pretty odd day.
I'm flesh and blood, just like you. Say, how'd you come to be out here dressed like that? And why'd you got a bandage around your head?
A friend dropped me off. Just a little practical joke.
It's the same friend you were talking to at the side of the road?
No, that was something else. There was nobody there, was there?
Just you, mister.
You're not going to tell me some ghost story about a boy and a mule that got lost in the dunes, and now people see his spirit guiding folks to the road, are you?
How tight is that bandage around your head? I'm thinking something might be leaking out.
Never mind.
So your friend just left you out there to fend for yourself. He's got a strange sense of humor.
Well, just wait till he sees what I have in store for him.
Hi, this is Dave Rivas from DaveyBoy Productions. I hope you're having a great time listening to the conclusion of our season opener, Rex Rivetter, Private Eye, and the Case of Pete and Repeat. Spoiler alert, the ending coming up after the break is awesome. I literally just finished cutting it together. But seriously, I'd like to take a minute to thank you all very much for your continued support. Greg and Rhiannon from Downstairs Entertainment, and Randy from wherever we got Randy from, and I have had a blast working together with all of our amazing guest artists to bring you Rex Rivetter Private Eye. We are incredibly lucky to be working with some of San Diego's finest local talent. We'd like to continue supporting our fellow artists here in San Diego as well as in your town. If you're in San Diego or the Southern California area on Monday, March 13th at 7 p.m., make sure to check out Latino-based theater group Amigos del Rep at the San Diego Repertory Theater in Horton Plaza. The Amigos will be presenting a staged reading of Native Gardens by Karen Zacharias. and it's absolutely free. We'd like to know what artists are up to in your community. If you'd like a shout out from us, just email us at admin@dsentertain.com. Let us know what you're working on. Or if you ever thought about getting on mic like some of our incredible actors, you can get a hold of me, the show's vocal, sound, and technical director, at Dave Rivas at DaveyBoyProductions.com. Now that was weird. Thanks again for listening. And now, back to the show.
And now we return to Rex Rivetter, Private Eye in The Case of Pete and Repeat.
The old-timer drives for a bit without saying a word. Maybe he's trying to figure out how to get the mental case sitting in the cab of his truck out without a ruckus. Or maybe he's just run out of things to talk about.
My name is Hephaestus, by the way.
So much for running out of things to talk about. Hephaestus.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. He was that Greek fella who made all that armor and such for the gods.
Prometheus stole fire from Hephaestus and gave it to man.
Huh, no kidding.
That's what I read. I wasn't there. What takes you out to Los Angeles, Hephaestus?
You can call me Heph.
What takes you out to Los Angeles, Heph?
I'm going out to see my daughter. It's been some years. I figured now's a good time. What about you? Why are you heading out that way?
I live there.
In Los Angeles? You some kind of movie fella?
I'm a private detective, sometimes known as a private eye or private dick.
Private? I don't think I'd let anyone call me a
Well,
private...
it's better than being called a public dick, or being called a...
Oh, I get it.
I got a little office on 3rd and Grand, above the Della... I'm rambling, aren't I?
Little bit.
Sorry.
You working a case out here?
What?
You working a case? Out here in the desert?
Something like that.
It got anything to do with that bandage around your noggin?
A lot.
And you're thinking of taking it out on that fella's hide?
3 for 3. Give the man a prize.
What'd this fella do?
He hurt someone. Bad. A girl.
A girl? And you're aiming to make it right?
I am.
Well, let's get you to Los Angeles then.
I doze off for a bit while Hephaestus makes like a bat out of hell for the city of angels. The next time I open my eyes, I'm outside my office building.
There you are, fella.
How did you... I told you where my office was, but how did you find it?
I stopped at the filling station, got some directions.
You stopped for gas. While I was asleep?
Figured you could use the rest if you're gonna do what I think you're gonna do.
Thanks, old-timer. Hephaestus. It's been a while since anyone has shown me this much kindness. I'm a little rusty in the gratitude department.
You got yourself a gun?
Actually, I don't. I misplaced it.
Well, looking at that set in your shoulders, you're gonna need one. Inside that glove box is a .22. I was gonna give it to my daughter, but you might need it sooner. I'll come by next week and pick it up if you're here. If you ain't, well, I guess getting me back that pistol will be the least of your worries.
Why would you do that for a stranger?
Bringing light to mankind, remember? Besides, I got a daughter, like I told you. I like to think that if someone done her wrong, there might be somebody like you around.
I'm good for it.
It's just a gun, I can get another. You take care, Mr. Riveter.
You too, Heph. I get upstairs, and before I round the corner, I hear the phone ringing in my office. It's dark. I fumble for my keys, but finally get the door open and get to the phone. Riveter Investigations.
Mr. Riveter, where have you been?
To see the Queen. Father Lozado?
I've been trying to get a hold of you for hours. I couldn't wait any longer, so I called him.
Called who?
Sullivan. I called him, and he's coming here to talk to me, but I wanted someone else here, just in case.
You called Sullivan? What did you tell him?
everything I know. Mr. Riveter, he's coming, and I'd like you to be here. Can you come to Viviana's?
I'm on my way. Looks like I'll get to use Heph's pistol sooner than I thought. Pete took my piece when he buried me in the desert, and my wallet, my cash the day before. So I had to raid one of Jenny's secret stashes before catching a cab over to Lozado's church. It looks different in the moonlight, stark against the night sky. There's a light on inside. Warmth and illumination can be seen, contained within by the stained glass. But it never really touches the outside world. The father's car is the only one on the street. Looks like I arrived before Sullivan. The priest at prayer. He hears me enter and turns, 42 inches of Kentucky pine in his hand.
Mr. Riveter, thank the Lord it's you.
It's a little late in the day for baseball, don't you think, Father?
Nothing wrong with a night game, given the right lighting.
Why don't we slow down? Tell me what's going on.
All right, Mr. Riveter, but it'll have to be brief. He'll be here soon.
Father Lozado moves to a pew and signals me to sit with him. He ages a decade as he tells his story.
I'm afraid I wasn't completely honest with you earlier.
Oh, no kidding.
I didn't lie, exactly. I just left out some details.
I'm listening.
Dolores Espinosa was a pious young lady, but for months prior to her murder, she avoided attending services. One evening, as I was writing the following Sunday's sermon, I heard crying coming from the nave. I found Dolores sitting in this very pew, praying. I asked her the matter, but all she would tell me was that she had sinned and was afraid of the consequences. This went on for a while. Almost nightly I found her here, seeking solace. But she wouldn't tell me what she was so distraught about. Finally, she relented. I took her confession 2 days before she was found in the park. She told me that her relationship with Gerard Sullivan was more than boss-assistant. They had, for months, he had been forcing her to...
It's all right, Father. I think I understand.
She became pregnant. Once she told him, he made arrangements to get rid of the baby. Dolores told me she finally refused, not only to have the procedure, but to continue the relations. She said that Sullivan flew into a rage and struck her. He told her that she was nothing, that she would do as he said or there would be consequences for her and her family. She was scared, Mr. Riveter, afraid for her life. Gerard Sullivan killed Dolores. I should have gone straight to the police. That would have been the right thing to do.
Violating the sanctity of the confessional is a pretty big deal from what I remember. You could be defrocked. That's why you came to me to try and get proof.
I was afraid. Not of being excommunicated. The Lord wouldn't abandon me. I was afraid of dragging that poor girl's name, of causing the family more trouble. Sullivan is a powerful man. If I came forward, he would use his money and status to destroy Dolores' remaining family. I thought if you found proof of what happened, justice would be served, and I could still protect my flock. I was a coward, Mr. Riveter. An innocent girl was raped, beaten, and then killed. And I let it happen.
You couldn't have known that was the way it would play out.
But I did. I've known men like Sullivan before. I was a coward then, and I'm still a coward.
Your sisters?
Yes. How did you know?
Something you said in your office about tragedy and redemption.
Yes. My oldest sister was beautiful. She got involved with a bad man. He used to beat her. One day, she came to one of my baseball games. bruised, her left wrist broken. After the game, I found him at their home. When he answered the door, I hit him with my bat. I then spent the next 20 minutes doing to him all of the things he had done to Eva. I had a lot of anger then. I was 15.
What happened?
He went into the hospital, and I went into the priesthood. Since then, I have been trying to make up for my sins. But my hands are still blood-soaked. No amount of washing or praying will clean them. Maybe that doesn't make sense.
More than you know.
None of that matters anymore. I shouldn't have gotten you involved. I'm sorry.
You're right. It doesn't matter. Unless I'm mistaken, I have a score to settle myself with Mr. Sullivan. Or, at the very least, with one of his employees. And I'm going to see this through to the end.
They're here. I heard them drive up.
Yep.
You remember the side door, Mr. Riveter? You could leave before they get here. You could go home and forget this happened. No one would be the wiser.
I would. Let's forget this whole idea of trying to save my soul and get to the dirty business of vengeance.
There's still time, but you'll have to go now.
You remember what Angelo Martin said about me?
He said you were stubborn.
Bullheaded is the term you used.
Yes. He said, once you got onto something, you would keep working until it was resolved.
Well, we're coming to the resolution.
What should we do?
The way you handle that bat, you've got the first through third spots. I'll take cleanup.
Not in here.
Before we have a chance to change venues, Gerard Sullivan and his trained monkey enter St. Vibiana. The darkness from outside peeks around them as they stand in the doorway. Sullivan looks surprised to see me. But it's nothing compared to Pete's face.
Riveter? How in the hell?
Language, Pete. This is a house of God, after all.
You are not welcome here.
Father Lozado. I thought everybody was welcome here.
Not the devil.
We all got a little bit of devil in us, don't we? Judge not, lest ye be...
Blasphemer.
Oh, now you're just being rude.
You killed the girl. Everybody here knows it, and why not admit it?
Confession? I expect that sort of nonsense from Lozado here. But you, Riveter, I figured you for a more reasonable fella.
If we're gonna do this, let's get it over with.
Patience, Peter. You botched the last job. We want to be certain it's done right this time, and you never know. Maybe we can settle this without violence. What is it you want, Riveter?
Let's start with a story.
A story? After everything you've been through? I was afraid you might be a man of action, but when it's all said and done, you want to talk.
I just want to know the why. I've been clobbered twice on the noggin, and buried in the sand and left for dead. So yeah, after everything I've been through, I just want to know the what for. Pete and Sullivan turn their attention to me. That's when Lozado moves. He's dry lightning across a clear sky. I could almost swear I heard him crackle before striking the ground with a thunderous clap. Padre, no! I call out at the priest in mid-swing. His gown moves in slow motion, but the result is all wrong. Father Lozado rears back with his Louisville pine, aiming for Sullivan's hat rack. Unfortunately, Pete quick draws his piece with one practiced motion, like a sheriff in a Saturday afternoon western. The first slug finds its target, but he adds two more to be sure. I move to Lozado's side, but I can tell that he's a goner.
I could have ended it.
It's a mortal sin, Father. I couldn't let you do that.
A return to faith, Mr. Riveter? Better late than never, I suppose.
I still don't believe, Padre. But you do. I've got enough on my conscience. Letting you do this was...
You have heard that it was said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth. Old Testament. This must be finished.
The cops will take care of it.
No, Riveter. They won't.
Those are Lozado's final words. There's no one here to offer him last rites. I hope that whatever comes after this life, it's kind to a lost man. Memories of lost friends run amok in my brain. Abe Breslow's murder, and then Jenny's. I've been trapped inside a cage of social faiths, of trying to behave within the narrow parameters of a self-proclaimed civilized society. But after months of restraint, I can feel the monster inside of me break free. I don't even try to stop him. There's only so much one man can bear.
Thanks for the warning, Riveter.
Go to hell.
Jesus, you...
I shot you. And I'll do it again. Drop the Roscoe, Pete. Or your boss gets another one. You may not care too much for your own life, but I'm guessing he's paying you enough to care for his. The look of shock on Pete's face is priceless. I guess no one has ever dared fire on his boss before. It's amazing what a little crazy will get you.
Pete, what are you doing? Pick up your... You're insane, Riveter. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who my brother is? I'm untouchable.
It's just you and me, Sullivan. Pete here isn't going to interfere. Isn't that right, Pete?
Get me out of here, Peter. Shoot him! You can't just stand there.
I'm through playing the sucker. Somewhere, in some part of my mind, I can see, at that exact moment, it dawns on him. The rules have changed. He's not in charge anymore. He starts to scurry away like a cockroach hiding from the light, leaving a trail from a bloody leg. Except, I'm not the light. I'm that other thing.
Wait. Okay, wait. What do you want? Money? I have some. Power? You'll have it. I can get you whatever you want. Come on, Riveter. Everybody wants something. Tell me what it is.
I can't form the words. All I feel is anger. Rage!
Look, I'm sorry it had to go this way. Your friend, the preacher there, he just got in the way. You understand, right? It wasn't personal.
Nothing personal.
That's right, nothing personal. He was just looking into things that... I could have let the whole thing go if it hadn't been for him. It's not my fault, Riveter. It was the girl's fault. If she hadn't got pregnant, I tried to take care of it, but she wouldn't say something, damn it! It's not my fault. None of it. The girl, she's the one. She got herself knocked up, and I couldn't let her ruin everything I built. Say something, damn you! Pete, shoot him! Kill him!
Sorry, Mrs. Sullivan. I've seen that look before. Nothing's stopping what's coming. You don't pay me enough to get in the way of this. What is it? Retribution? I can't help you.
I'll double it. What I'm paying you, Pete, I'll double it. Triple it. You can't do this, Riveter. I'm untouchable. I'm untouchable, damn you.
Nobody's untouchable.
Jesus.
See?
You shot me again. You shot me. In a church. Are you crazy? I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the girl. I'm sorry about the priest. It just happened. Sometimes things happen. I'm sorry. I'll make up for it. What do you want me to do? The girl, yes. That poor girl. Pretty young thing.
I hear the sirens in the distance. So does Sullivan. He figures if he keeps talking, he'll buy himself enough time.
Poor girl. Eager to please she was. Malleable, yeah, like clay. She was certain I'd rescue her from her life. Pretty, but not too bright. She gave herself to me, Riveter. After a little persuasion, believe it or not, I can be charming when I want to. I showed her what life could be like for an agreeable girl. But she got greedy. She came to me one night and told me she was having a kid. Who knows if it was mine or not? But I couldn't let her give birth to a bastard, just in case. So I made arrangements for her to see a specialist I know. She refused. Jesus, I'm in pain.
Keep talking.
Okay. So, one night we were working late at a site. She had an accident and fell to her death. Pete was kind enough to haul her somewhere that couldn't be connected to me.
She didn't drown.
No.
That's why she was cremated. You got to her mother and suggested that was better than burial.
Save the family some embarrassment. I even paid for it.
And if she's cremated, her body can't be exhumed. No body, no evidence. But if she didn't drown, there couldn't have been water in her lungs. The coroner's report would... You bribed him.
Yeah, that's right. But none of that matters now. The cops will be here any minute. I win. Don't you see? I win. I always win, Riveter.
Not always. I raise Heph's gun. Sullivan's eyes go wide as my finger squeezes the trigger.
Riveter!
I can't bring light to man, but I can take away some of the darkness.
Tonight's episode of Rex Rivetter Private Eye starred Randy Coull. Tonight's guest stars were Edgar Diaz-Gutierrez as Father Lozado and Stephen Jensen as Gerard Sullivan, with James Michael McCullock as Heph, and appearances by Joshua Montes, Frank Remiatte, Rhiannon McAfee, and Philip John. It was written by Greg McAfee and is transcribed in San Diego, California. It was produced by Downstairs Entertainment, with recording, sound, and editing by DaveyBoy Productions. The Rex Rivetter theme, Nightmare, by the Artie Shaw Orchestra, is used with permission of Music Sales Corp. Rex Rivetter is directed by Rhiannon McAfee, with vocal, sound, and technical direction by Dave Rivas. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, please find us on the internet at www.dsentertain.com or on the Facebook or the Twitter. Next Monday, catch our recap show, Riveting Conversations, wherever you listen to Rex, for behind-the-scenes interviews with cast and crew. If you love our show, you can donate towards production costs at www.patreon.com/Rex Rivetter. And be sure to join us in 2 weeks, same time and place, for Rex Rivetter Private Eye and The Case of the Long Con. For Downstairs Entertainment, this is Greg McAfee speaking.